And in today's video, I'll show you how I created this piece in Pastel. Stick around. Welcome into my art studio, and today we're going to be working on the Highland Lighthouse in Pastel. To create this piece, I'll be using Pan Pastels and Derwent pastel pencils. This is an applicator for the Pan Pastel. It's pretty much like doing painting with palette knives, for example. You're just going to pick out the basic colors, and you're going to put some onto the applicator brush, and see if I can picture that here. There's a couple of different Pan Pastels. Just by putting the applicator into one of the Pan Pastels, it just picks up a little bit of that color, and you blend them. Just as you would if you were using oil paints, acrylics, watercolor. You're just going to be able to take some of the basic colors, create your own color, and there's a wide variety of Pan Pastels that you can purchase. But it's good to learn how to blend. I've probably got the medium-sized set, maybe 12 or 15 Pan Pastels, and I'll do a lot of blending just to try to get the colors and the tones right. We're doing an underpainting for the sky, as well as the large areas that I can reach without having to use pencils for large areas, such as this background of a blue sky. Using pencil for this would take a very long time to get a smooth, even color. But with Pan Pastels and the different size applicators, you can really minimize the time that you would spend coloring in larger pieces. And just again, to give yourself a nice underpainting on, say, in the foreground. As we get later on in this video, you'll see I'll be working on the ground, and you can see the finished piece in the upper left corner of your screen, just as a basic reference of where this is heading. Slowly building these layers. This is working on Pastelmat, and Pastelmat is like a textured paper. It's quite unique. It's probably similar to sanded pastel paper, but it's not that rough. So this will take on a lot of layers. It's very forgiving. If you put a mark down that you didn't intend, you can work over that, and you can work it in without having the piece, feel like you've ruined it. And it's great with blending. So I'm just laying down this basic color, and I'll continue to blend and lighten it. And you'll see that it's much quicker than using pencils, and you can still blend in pencils with this. You can blend in over top, and it takes on so many layers, building in that depth and that smoothness. Just a quick mention, I have a Patreon channel full of videos, reference photos, and information with new videos and reference photos being added every month. Videos for the complete beginner that have never done illustrations, and I'll take you from the very first marks and concept sketches all the way through to my final detailed completed works. I've also got some really unusual subjects as well, and in all my videos I take you through all the details so you'll see everything. But it's not just for beginners, it's also for novices, and many of my videos span 3 hours, so you're going to see a lot of detail and tips on creating your own artwork and illustrations. And now introducing the color for the background, the woodlands, the trees. These are going to be varying in different tones of gray and brown, and will give a sense of highlight, but this underpainting is just laying in those basic colors, those basic roadmaps that we're going to be working on to refine and give more detail later on. it's just putting a lot of the pigment down onto this pastel mat, which is a great surface. Again, it takes a lot of layers, which is great because you can continue to add, and that adds depth and dimension. And I'm just using these Pan Pastels to cover a little bit more real estate here on this canvas, and it's really a wonderful process, and it really speeds the process up, especially if you're working on larger pieces, as you saw with the sky, which I'll continue to refine a little bit, smooth out as we go. You can really cover a lot rather than just using a pencil back and forth. And now just going into this with pencil, I don't generally use the Pan Pastels on these sections. I'll work on the pencils. If there's an area large enough to block in to do an underpainting with the Pan Pastels, I'll use those, but more often I just continue to go back and forth with the pencils. And if you enjoy this video, be sure to hit that red subscribe button over in the lower right corner, or the red subscribe button down below. That way you'll be alerted when there are new videos uploaded. As I discover new pieces and new ways, I'll be demonstrating those here for you all to give you some insight and hopefully help you along with your process of creating portraits and building your portrait business, or whether you're just doing this as for personal enjoyment or gifting and donating your artwork. But either way, I'll share with you what I'm doing, and if that's something you can use and apply to your own unique style, that's really wonderful. If you'd like to see the full length of this video, nearly 1 hour, and most of it in real time, be sure to join my Patreon page. I've got a community over there where I'm sharing 1 to 3 hour videos and step-by-step instructions on my process and helping guide you to become the best artist you can be. And continuing the drawing process, putting in the finer details, using the pastel pencils, adding the bits of trees and the branches in the background behind the building. And as I put in the final details, and the last thing, the signature. That wraps up this piece of the Highland Lighthouse located in North Truro, Massachusetts, here on Cape Cod. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.